Radio Influence, podcasting redefined.
This is the Cannabis Podcast on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
Hello, everybody. This is Ian Beckles, and welcome back to the Dignitary Cannabis Podcast. I've been doing this podcast for a couple of years now, and I started this because of, first and foremost, my love for cannabis. And I also want to get educated on what cannabis can do for me and do for my people as well. And you guys are my people. Normally we just do a podcast. Now in the next few times we're going to mess around with the webcast as well, so you guys can be able to visually see a few things that I have going on around here. As you see, I got some of my bells and whistles and also my cognac right here, just in case I get a little bit thirsty. First and foremost, I want to give some love to Curaleaf, who is my title sponsor. For those of you that are into the dispensary world, they're my favorite dispensary. I've talked about some other dispensaries, throughout the years, and Curaleaf has just become my go-to dispensary to where I'm just comfortable going there. I've been to some of the other ones, and not to bring up any names and, talk down, the other dispensaries, but to me, Curaleaf is just the smoothest dispensary out there, and they have the best product. They restock, and I think the customer service is just the best. You walk in and it's not a lot of waiting and, security guards. You just kind of walk in, go straight to the desk, and they ask for your card, and boom, you're ready to rock and roll. They always have specials, and they have the best bud out there. So you want to go check out Curaleaf for sure. They have one on Gandhi Boulevard right over here across from Starbucks. They have one on North Florida, and they also have one in Lutz as well. So, do yourself a favor, for those of you who do have your medical card, and do some investigative journalism. Kind of pop here and there and see who does it the best. And I think you'll find out that Curaleaf is top notch. That's definitely my go-to dispensary. Now, I like to tell people about the importance of getting a card. There's a lot of people out there that smoke weed that still get it off of some cat on the street. I talk this way all the time. I said, listen, I tell my friends, you have your card? And most of them say, I don't need it. And I said, well, where do you get your marijuana? Well, I have a guy. How many strains does he have? Well, what do you mean? Well, if a guy comes with one sack of weed, you don't even know what's in that sack. It can be 8 different strains. You can have hemp mixed up in it. There's a lot of different things it can be. When you talk about the science of marijuana, that's what the dispensaries are all about now. The dispensaries are about percentages, knowing exactly what you need for your illnesses or what ails you, and that's what it's all about. It's not like it used to be. It's not a bunch of people, smoking raggedy leaves in the basement listening to Def Leppard anymore. I mean, there's a science to it, and that's where we're going with marijuana in general. And I just want to make sure you guys are, know where marijuana is gone, because there's still a lot of people that still are scared of marijuana. A lot of people that say, well, I smoked marijuana in high school and I was paranoid. And that's fine. Marijuana is not for everybody. But it's come a long way. And a lot of you who have tried it and it didn't work for you and you're scared to try it again, once again, I'm not pushing anybody into anything. But it's just not what it used to be. And you might want to check that out again. And it's about dosages and knowing exactly what you need for yourself. So it's very important that you get your medical marijuana card if you're somebody who indulges and likes to smoke marijuana like myself. Now, we had Dr. Cannabis that was here 2 weeks ago right in front of the Dignitary Cafe, and we had a bunch of people get their medical marijuana card, and that's, to me, is one of the easier ways to do it. Instead of calling up a bunch of doctors, all you do is you go to drcannabus.com. That's Dr. CANNABUS.com. And you just kind of scroll down, and they're actually going to be here again in May. It's going to be here on the 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. So if you want to get your medical card, they're going to be right out front. It's really easy. I think it takes like 20 minutes. And all you have to have is a legitimate ailment, okay? Everybody has a legitimate ailment. I don't know anybody that doesn't. A lot of people have problems sleeping, anxiety, and everybody has stress. There's a lot of things out there. So if you think you're somebody who wants to get that medical marijuana card, do yourself a favor, go to radioinfluencecomp25276.com and make an appointment. Once again, May 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th is going to be right out front here at the Dignitary Cafe. Use a promo code Dignitary, and you're going to get, I think, about 10% off. It goes from $250 to about $225, so take advantage of that. Once again, promo code Dignitary. Now, I went to an event last weekend in Sarasota, 420 Fest SRQ, and it was a great event. It really was. Gave me some ideas because myself, Dignitary, and my people at Creative Loafing, we're going to be putting on our own Canna Fest on 7/10, which is also a weed number, along with 420. And we're going to be doing it at Pepin Hospitality Center. So it's July 10th. Nobody wants to be outside on July 10th. All right? Nobody. So it's going to be inside. It's going to be a classy affair. And we're going to turn it out. We're going to have a bunch of different vendors there. So it's going to be all about the cannabis world, whether it's from, smoking utensils to the education of it, and anything to do with cannabis, CBD, hemp is going to be there. So you definitely want to put that on your calendar for 7/10. Like I told you, I had a wonderful time at the 420 Fest at SRQ. Picked up a few things myself. We had a booth there. It was just so many people were having fun. I've never seen a fest in Florida where people were walking around and just kind of indulging in marijuana as they walked around. And other than the young lady who puked on my boy Lamont's wagon, it went off without a hitch. I mean, everybody was having a great time. Everybody was smiling and laughing, and that's what it was all about. And people were just kind of walking around, smoking freely. Cops weren't messing with nobody. Guards weren't messing with anybody. And that's what it's all about. That's what our world needs to turn into. A bunch of people having a wonderful time. So one of the things that I picked up there, and I like to help out as many local products as I can. That's what I'm all about. And Flavor of Tampa Bay is kind of one of the products that I've invented throughout the years. So I love to help out local products. So I walked around a little bit, got some business cards from some of the people. And there was one young lady that was there, and she had just absolutely unbelievable homemade pipes. And I'm an old school guy. When you come here to the Dignitary Cafe, it kind of has an old school feel to it. And I think it's from my mother growing up with those old school vases, and I have an old school black mother, okay? So I had some old school type stuff, and stuff like this appeals to me. The name of the young lady, it was Toasty Treasures. And if you see this, it looks like it was probably just an old school vase back in the day. And she just kind of stuck the lever in there, and now it's a bong. Just like that, take a quick hit. It's lovely. And I tell you what, it looks good. You stick that on your end table, and nobody knows that's a bong. You don't have to tell anybody, because it's none of their business anyway. So look up, definitely on Instagram, Toasty Treasures. She has some really, really cool stuff. I'm hoping to get her involved in our 7/10 event for sure. Now, I want to use this webcast as well as the podcast to show you guys and kind of let you guys into some of the products that I like to indulge in throughout the week. Because there's so many different ways to ingest THC, hemp, CBD. The timing's important, and the methodology is important as well. So for myself at night, obviously you're not going to really want to be smoking a sativa at night. And for those of you, a sativa kind of brings you up, indica kind of brings you down. So at night you want to be smoking an indica. And if you're taking any kind of edibles come in, sativa and indica as well. So you want to check on that. So when you go to Curaleaf and you ask for edibles, because edibles, they hit you a different way. We all know that. If you ever take an edible, it hits you a different way. It kind of gets in your bloodstream differently. You want to make sure at night that you're not taking that sativa to get your heart rate going, and then you're sitting up all night all tripping out, okay? So look for an indica. This week, I went over there to Curaleaf, and like I said, at late night, this is what I love right here. It's the THC Chews. They come in a very cool package like this right here. Real easy. And here's the THC Chews. They're 10 milligrams a piece. They're from Curaleaf. Real easy. Take one right now. I'll be good in about an hour and a half or so from now. And I'm sure I'll take more than that. But for my show right now, it's probably not good that I ingest too many. But Curaleaf THC chews, 10 milligrams a piece is wonderful. They come in strawberry, raspberry, lemon, and I like the watermelon. It's wonderful. Once again, make sure you know that it's an indica. That's important because, like I said, marijuana's come a long way, and it's come a long way for the betterment of the drug. Or I don't want to call it a drug, it's a medication, okay? It's just more individualized of what are you taking it for? Like I said, it's not like it used to be where everybody's kind of sitting around just kind of smoking and getting blowed out, not knowing what they're smoking. There's a rhyme and reason, between and about this marijuana now. And that's what this is all about, is kind of teaching you guys what's wrong and what's right. So do yourself a favor. If you have problems sleeping, there's a couple other things I'm going to tell you about sleeping later, but if you like to sleep or you need to sleep and you're heading over to Curaleaf, just ask for the THC chews. They got 10 milligrams per piece, and it's real easy. They're indica, so you want to take advantage of that for sure. Now, I talked to you guys last week a little bit about this strain. I want to reiterate how wonderful this strain is. I always try to do a strain of the week, and this week's strain of the week is Purple Sunset. Okay, from Curaleaf. I got it in the container right here. When you smell it, it's absolutely beautiful. It's Purple Sunset is 13.7% THC and 1% CBG. All right. I'm not too versed in CBG. To me, it's more important how much THC is in it. And the state and a lot of places around the country were trying to regulate the amount of THC that was in our marijuana, and they wanted to bring it down to 10% or lower. And as we know, for those of us that go to the dispensaries, we don't want anything 10% or lower. So I don't know if they know what it would do if they lowered it. I'm going to tell you what it's going to do. It's going to make everybody smoke and ingest more. It's going to cost more money, and it'll probably cost more money to go to the dispensary than it is to get it on the street, and everybody's going to go back on the street. So to me, it's counterproductive. When you talk about people that do really have ailments, and you talk about veterans, they don't need less. For most part, they need more. So I'm glad that didn't pass, and I think that's kind of on the back burner for the rest of this year. Hopefully we don't hear a lot of that crap anymore. But once again, Purple Sunset, when I went to Curaleaf last week, this was on sale. Purple Sunset, once again, this is an indica. I lean more towards indicas myself, all right? I don't smoke ridiculous amount during the day because I have to work and I have a radio show and I got to be somewhat lucid and I got to be able to pronounce my words. So I don't smoke that much during the day. Sometimes I'll dabble a little bit here and there, but I just don't do it a whole lot. And then nighttime it comes and I do my thing because I'm winding down and I'm trying to chill, if you understand what I mean. So this Purple Sunset is an indica. Its dominant terpene is limonene. And like I said, it's a very lemony smell. And it's a cross between Purple Punch, Mandarin Sunset, and Mandarin Cookies. If anybody has ever had those strains right there. So it's absolutely delicious. Smokes real smooth. Not a lot of coughing in it. And I definitely suggest this. And I said I went into Curaleaf the other day, and they had it for $160 an ounce. So to me, it was a no-brainer. A good friend of mine asked me to get him some, and I'm not suggesting that you get your friends that don't have a card, anything, but he happened to be in a pinch, and when I told him what I paid for it, he was tripping out. And he was somebody that ended up getting his medical marijuana card because, like I said, it doesn't make any sense anymore to be buying it off the street. It really doesn't. This is the safest way to get it done. When you walk into Curaleaf, you're safe, okay? And to me, that's important. It's important that we're all safe, and you just don't know what people are lacing things with. People spray different things, and you have pesticides and a lot of different things that make you high. You don't even know what's in it, but you'll know exactly what's in it when you go to Curaleaf. So you want to make sure you do it the right way. Okay, I always want everybody's lives to be as easy as possible, okay? This is about as easy as can be. For those of you that like vape pens, This is a vape pen. This little Select right here, which looks like, I guess it looks like some a woman's cosmetics or something like that. It's just a very little eyeliner looking thing. But this is a vape pen, all right? I have it in my pocket at all times. The company is Select, because Curaleaf does deal with some different companies. The company is Select, and let me tell you, the battery is, it's what, 2 inches big? And then you stick it in the charger right here, and you stick it in the wall, and boom, it's ready to go. It doesn't get no easier than that. And it's just extremely, extremely convenient. And that's what's so great about marijuana these days, is it's become convenient. It used to be a big deal when you wanted to go smoke and you had to go around the building and pull out a joint or whatever apparatus you had, and you're hitting it and you smell like smoke when you come back in. It's not like that anymore. It's just quite this easy. Hit a vape pen and you're ready to rock and roll. So if you're looking for something really convenient, head over to Curaleaf, ask them for their Select fresh cartridges. And like I said, I think this is the future of marijuana right here, okay? And in these pens. Now, like I said, there's different ways to ingest and get CBD and THC and hemp into your body. Here at Dignitary Cafe, and that's where we are right now. And for those of you in the marijuana world, this is your cafe. And when you come in, you're going to know it. It has that feel. We sell some different products here. And like I like to tell people, it's not only about getting high, okay? There's therapeutic benefits to CBD. And there's lots of them. And there's a lot of different ways you can get CBD in your body through the products. Here, there's different ways you can do it. Now, hemp flower. Hemp, once again, comes from the hemp flower. It doesn't come from marijuana. It doesn't have THC in it. And if it does, it has a minuscule amount. And hemp flower is something that people can smoke at night. It does relax you a little bit. And I'm gonna give you some tips. If you have some THC and you want to, I guess, make it go a little longer or a longer way, but you still want the medicinal use of the hemp, just grind it up, some hemp flower with your THC that you got at Curaleaf. It's that easy. And then you get a little bit more bang for your buck as you go forward. So over here at Dignitary Cafe, we sell our own branded hemp flower. So you want to definitely come check that out. We have CBD powder right here that it comes in a little scoop, 25 milligrams. When I mean a little scoop, it's a tiny, like smaller than a dime scoop that you put in your coffee. You blend it up, and there you go. You have your CBD in your coffee, okay? And for me, I do it every morning. Like I said, I played football for a while. I got aches and pains and banged up, and my head's been smashed. CBD goes a long way, okay? It kind of evens you out and makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. Doesn't make you high, though. That's not what CBD is about. I like to say that CBD is kind of a leveler, okay? That's what that's all about. I said earlier about the gummies that will put you to sleep. If you don't want to go that route, because the gummies that will put you to sleep are going to get you high. Let's get that straight, all right? Because there's THC in it, and there's quite a bit. There's actually 10 milligrams per piece. You can go this route as well. And for those of you that just like to mess with CBD, Advanced Modern Medicine makes a great CBD sleep syrup that we sell here at the Dignitary Cafe. Here it is right here. And I take a little bit before I go to sleep, and you're gonna go night-night. When I don't mess with the gummies, maybe I'm out of town or something like that, I always keep my CBD sleep syrup with me, and this makes you feel excellent, okay? And you're gonna feel kind of calm, and eventually you're gonna be asleep before you know it. Also, we have a bunch of Delta 8 products here as well. For those of you who don't know much about Delta 8, Delta 8 is kind of new. A lot of people don't know a whole lot about Delta 8. They just know it makes them feel good. Once again, there's medicinal use to Delta 8 as well. Drip is a great product. They're local. I know the owners, and this is a great product. Over at the 420 Fest SRQ, we sold a whole bunch of Drip Delta 8. And we barely sold any hemp flower, but we sold a whole lot of Delta 8. Because people are going there to get high. I mean, that's the way it is. People in that world want to get high. So it's your choice which way you're going to make it happen and which way you're going to go. Now, our sponsor of this podcast is the Terp Pen XL. And here's my Terp Pen right here. And I've talked about it for quite a while. It's not rocket science. And then I've tried, dabbing before. I didn't love it until I ran into my Terp Pen. If you look at Terp Pen, it looks a little bit bigger than a pen. It's a little bit heavier. It's very sturdy. And the Terp Pen is about the dabbing. And when you go to Curaleaf, you can go there and either get, shatter or crumble. I wasn't really versed in that as well. Shatter to me is hard to deal with. It kind of looks like glass. It's not glass, but it kind of looks like glass. It's just kind of hard to deal with. To me, shatter kind of looks like a sturdy pudding, kind of something like that. And all you do is you take the top off of your Terp Pen XL, you stick it in there, inhale, and boom, you're dabbing. That's it. That's it. I mean, that's all it is. And you put the top back on, and you're ready to roll. So for those of you that want to get into the dab world, the Terp Pen XL is the best way to do it. I didn't mess with it until I messed with this Terp Pen XL. You can bring it wherever you want. You can actually put some of the crumble or the shatter in this little dispenser right here. You take it off and you have it with you wherever you go. So if anybody wants to get into the dab world and the Terp Pen XL, Terp Pen XL is going to do some special things for our listeners. And if you go to www.terppenxl.com, and you can get 10% off if you use the discount code CannabisPod at checkout. Once again, www.terppenxl.com, and you get 10% off if you use a discount code CannabisPod at checkout. So take advantage of that. I tell you what, I absolutely love my Terp Pen XL, and I use it all the darn time. And when my boys come in, they seem to be asking for it too. So they're mooches, you know how that works. Now, for those of you who don't love to roll, okay, I'm a pretty good roller, I'm not going to lie, but I went over to Gandhi Smoke Shop the other day, and my guy Brian convinced me, and I like to be efficient as well. They have these raw cylinders right here. They're empty, boom, real easy. They're just cones. You stick them in this little contraption, it's a raw contraption, and all you do is go to Curaleaf, get some ground, and you just stick it in. Boom, boom, boom. Hit down with the stick a couple times. You take it out. You kind of wrap it at the top, and it comes out like so. I mean, it's about as easy as can. I mean, that looks like a professionally rolled joint, period. You can't roll like that, freestyle. No way. I can't do it. Nobody can do that. So you see how easy that is? Starts off with the cone, ends up being this wonderful roll joint right there. So for those of you that don't like to roll and they want to be Big Willie and roll around like you know what the hell you're doing, you can mess around with those raw papers, and you can get one of these 6-shooters, which is a real cool way to roll and a real easy way to get it done as well. And once again, I'd like to get you guys hip to all the coolest contraptions. Here at Dignitary Cafe, we only have one grinder, and it's the Tsunami. And this is the most heavy-duty grinder I've ever been around, okay? It catches all your keef on the bottom, which you want, obviously. And what's cool, about this grinder is it has a little thing up top here where you can kind of put your weed up top so you can kind of deal with it. And instead of it being flat and it falling off, it's kind of concave. So you put your weed in there and you can kind of deal with it, and it just is a practical thing. So Tsunami, and once again, you can come here at Dignitary Cafe, 4817 Southwest Shore, and we got a lot of cool products for you. And I think when you walk in here, you'll understand why people are starting to roll through here, and people that are in the cannabis world kind of love this place. So that's what that's all about. So, the cannabis world is growing every single day. And as somebody who's going to grow with it, that's what this webcast is about. That's what my podcast is about. And that's what this world is becoming. And that's why we're going to 420 events in Sarasota. That's why we're putting on our own events on 710. And to get you guys a little bit more versed in what's going on in the cannabis world. And I'm just trying to learn every single day. And you can't learn too much. You can't have enough education. And that's what that's all about. As I spark up, I want to thank Curaleaf for being a title sponsor. And do yourself a favor. Head over to Curaleaf. And before you order something at Curaleaf, do me a favor. Ask them, what's the special? That's the way to do it. The special may be buy two, get one free. It can be 40% off if you spend $100. There's always a special going on at Curaleaf. And if you know what it is, you come out of there sometimes and you spend $150 and you come out of there with a shitload of marijuana products. And that's what it's all about. It's about getting more bang for your buck. And they just have the best smoke out there. They're rarely out, and we always know that everything from there is top-notch, it's first class, and that's what it's all about. And to me, customer service might be the most important thing. So go over to Curaleaf. They have one on Gandy Boulevard here, right across from the Starbucks. They got one on North Florida. And they have one way down there on Dale Mabry in the Lutz area. You know, that area where us South Tampa people, we never hang out. So we're going to start doing this podcast. We've been doing it every week for a long time. We're going to start doing the webcast every week as well. One love to We Beam TV. And once again, it's about making us look good, making the product look good, and spreading the word. That's what it's all about. So you go out there, follow Toasty Treasures, and you can find these really cool bongs, homemade bongs, and we'll also be supporting local products. So I want to thank everybody for listening in. This has been the Dignitary Cannabis Podcast. Everybody make sure you tune in every single week. I appreciate y'all. Go out there and smoke something delicious. I know I will. Peace out.
For more information on medical cannabis, make sure to follow Ian Beckles on Twitter @IanBeckles. This has been the Cannabis Podcast on Radio Influence.
This is a Landry Football Quick Fix on Radio Influence.
One of the things about draft day is it's a little bit different. It's a long wait to the start of the draft. Going to get into what is it like on draft day? What is draft day all about? There was a movie made about it, much like is the case, I think, with most scenes. The movies don't really tell you the true story. It's obviously a lot of hype that just is not accurate. So we're going to have a little fun, though, with talking about what goes on in draft day and kind of incorporate maybe what to expect with the NFL draft. Some of you may not listen to this show until maybe after the draft, depending on when you consume it. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on, who's going to be the first pick or whatever and stuff. We have done that ad nauseum. You can find out those details at LandryFootball.com. We're going to focus a lot on the process, what to expect, big overview questions that are going to come about this weekend. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. As always, we'll take your questions. We'll take your thoughts. Anything you want me to address, we'll certainly incorporate it as best we can. But the history of the draft is something that is intriguing in that it is so popular in today's world. And God bless you that you love it the way you do, because it's a big part of what we do. It's a big reason why you listen to what we do.
The Landry Football Podcast with veteran scout and coach Chris Landry can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, and radioinfluence.com.